Good morning. I'm Talia Bettcher, Chair of the Academic Senate. For what it's worth, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you and your loved ones are healthy. If not, I wish you speedy recovery. If you're struggling, and how could you not be, I send you strength. If you've lost people, I'm deeply sorry. These aren't normal times, and yet we go on. We go on because we care. We have values binding us together, values that give us hope as well as direction. We believe in the fundamental value of knowledge, discovery, creation, education, in transforming individual lives and in moving society closer towards justice. We do more than equipping our students to enter the job force. We empower them to be better human beings. This is my first year serving as chair of the Senate. And although I'm somewhat daunted, I'm very glad to meet you in this capacity. I want to thank Veena Prabhu for her 3.5 years of service as chair, for her tireless dedication on behalf of us all, for the depth of her compassion, for her wisdom, and above all else, for her good humor and cheer in the face of tough challenges. Under normal circumstances, I'd invite you all to rise and to applaud her, but we're separated physically, so we don't share that intimacy. So I'll simply ask that you hold this in your mind or your heart, or wherever you put such things of great value. The principle that guides Veena. Our reason for being here is our students. They define who we are, determine our existence as educators, and as those who make such education possible. We all have a role to play in realizing this mission. Our faculty, tenure track, tenured, lecturers, our teachers, are how we realize our mission. It's through their sheer brain power and heart power, their creativity and cunning, and above all else, their unfailing dedication to our students, that this happens. But neither could this ever happen without our brilliant and resourceful staff members who often find a way when there isn't one. And it couldn't happen without our president, Covino, and his team of tireless administrators. So I'd like to applaud all of you, to invite us, to applaud each other, the Cal State LA family. I couldn't use some applause, a good pat on the back, a hug. I could use a hug, but surely I digress. Instead of applause, let's all take a moment to consider the momentous challenge of shared governance. Now, more than ever, it is requisite that every voice be heard, every insight shared, administrator, staff, faculty. How could we do it otherwise? Today, we have the pleasure of meeting our 54 new faculty members from across the globe representing all our colleges. You bring extraordinary expertise, talent, and promise. We're so glad you're here, and we can't wait to get to know you better in person sometime soon. Happily, we do get to know you a little bit virtually now as we've put together a lovely video introducing all of our new faculty and showcasing their achievements. Let's take a look. Normally we'd ask you to stand, turn on the lights to applaud you. For now, let me just send to you, our new colleagues, from all of us, a very warm, enthusiastic welcome to the Cal State LA family. Watching this video, reading your bios, seeing your pictures, made me to remember back to when I started here over 20 years ago, which would have made me 10. But I've been around the block a few times, seen some changes. I'll never forget when those towers came down. It felt like the world had been turned upside down. Some things don't change, however. What's remained the same, invariable, has been our extraordinary faculty, their world-class expertise, their commitment to teaching, to innovating new ways of empowering our equally extraordinary students. They aren't always your so-called typical students. They're smarter, fiercer, and they deserve the finest education that money can never buy. That magic isn't going anywhere, and you get to be part of it. But other times, things do change. They need to. We're not just living through a global pandemic. We're witnessing this country in the midst of tremendous upheaval as it grapples with its past, present, and future. The hope of protest, of increasing racial consciousness, but also the forces of racial hatred, explicit in all of its ugliness. If anything has become clear, is that this country, while great in its potential, has so far to go. And it's incumbent upon us as educators, as administrators, as staff, to do the work necessary to ensure that Cal State LA lives up to its promise. We of all institutions of higher learning should be a leader on this front. From our long history of activism to our brand new College of Ethnic Studies, a warm shout out to Stuart Quo, Interim Dean. We are well positioned to take the work further. And we know that we begin first at home. To take our mission seriously and to take shared governance seriously is for all of us to take the deep inequities seriously, to devote our energies to eradicating them in all of their specificity. Institutionalized anti-Black racism must be named. Anti-Latinx racism must be named. Asian American racism must be named. We must drill down to the details where multiple systems of oppression converge. Racism, sexism, heterosexism, transphobia, ableism. We must put aside binary frameworks in favor of embracing the challenging work of communicating across multiple experiences, locations, oppressions. Communication is not easy. It's a tough, demanding work that requires an openness to the spirit of self-transformation. It's a vulnerable work. And it's made so much more difficult when we can't share the same physical space, when we can't attune ourselves to each other's vibrations. But I want to be part of this work. I want the Academic Senate to be part of this work. And I hope that you want to be part of this work too. Today I have the honor of introducing our new provost, Dr. José Luis Alvarado. An immigrant from Mexico and the son of farm workers, raised in the Imperial Valley, he was the first in his family to graduate from college. Dr. Alvarado earned an Associate of Arts in Gen Ed from Imperial Valley College, a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a Master of Arts in Special Ed from San Diego State, and his PhD in Education with a specialization in Special Ed from the University of Virginia. Beginning his teaching career at San Diego State and serving there as the Associate Dean in the College of Education, Dr. Alvarado then went on to serve as the founding dean in the College of Education at Cal State Monterey Bay. Through all of his work, both scholarly and administrative, he has demonstrated a commitment to responding to the needs of underrepresented communities, centralizing an equity-based approach. Please welcome Dr. Alvarado. And since we can't greet him with applause, let's simply give him our eager and undivided attention, and let's have a good year.
Thank you so much, Talia. You did an excellent job. Well said. I also extend a warm welcome to the 54 new faculty joining Cal State LA. Bienvenidos, welcome. It is my honor to join the Golden Eagle family as your provost and be here today to start the new academic year with all of you. While we can't be here together in the same physical space, I'm glad we can participate in this virtual convocation. Convocation marks the beginning of a new academic year and typically provides faculty and staff the opportunity to catch up with one another during the morning reception. It's an opportunity to build community, comunidad. It is quite apparent that the current situation has impacted this year's convocation, including recognizing faculty for their excellence in teaching and outstanding achievements. Thank you to all Cal State LA faculty members for honoring our university's commitment to student success and equity. It is clear that you remain focused on the success of our students as the campus was forced to shut down midway through the spring 2020 term. The pandemic forced you to alter where, and in many cases, how you teach. Yet you persevered and you were able to deliver your courses in a vastly different way. I realized that the sudden change modality of instruction was not easy and that it took much effort on your part to make that happen. Let us also remember that the sudden change in modality also has had a significant impact on our students and staff. The challenges you face as faculty are oftentimes magnified for many of our students. Because the digital divide is real for our underserved student populations, our campus has invested in equipping students with computers and Wi-Fi hotspots to ensure access to their academic programs. I also want to thank the team at the Center for Effective Teaching and Learning who worked tirelessly to support teaching efforts during the transition to distance learning. CETL also designed a curriculum that provided faculty with strategies for virtual instruction through the Alt Instruction Summer Institute. I want to take this time to congratulate the 1,431 faculty members who took advantage of this learning opportunity to improve their craft, and to the 980 faculty who completed all 6 workshops in the series. Because we understand the importance of ongoing professional development, CETL will be offering ongoing workshops during the academic year. We're starting our 2021 academic year in an unconventional way. We must adapt to the new realities of the pandemic and also respond to the current climate of social and racial injustice. Here at Cal State LA, equity, diversity, and inclusion are not just buzzwords or empty rhetoric. We believe in meaningful strategic action. We must be an MSI and an HSI campus by intention rather than demographics. The current circumstances notwithstanding, our commitment to engagement, service, and the public good is unwavering. This year, we welcomed 3,816 first-time freshmen and 3,109 transfer students. Our students are looking forward towards each of us to deliver the highest quality educational experience. And it is one thing to admit new students, but it is entirely another to ensure that we retain them and lead them towards graduation. On that front, our preliminary data shows that our campus has made great progress towards reaching our goals, particularly for underrepresented student groups. Our 2019 freshman class is re-enrolling at a higher rate than last year. There are many programs that have helped them along the way. Special recognition in this area goes to faculty in math, education, and philosophy, who have been a part of the quantitative reasoning redesign group over the past 2 years. Our GE math completion rose from 49% in 2016 to 84% for those first-time freshmen who entered last year in 2019. We closed a 7-point gap in the completion between Pell and non-Pell students and reduced the gap for minority populations by 10 percentage points to 6%. These aren't just numbers. This is evidence of our students' lives being impacted positively. We are not where we need to be, but must acknowledge the wonderful progress that we're making. I value the contribution that each of you makes to ensure students have the best Cal State LA experience. That our students are persisting and succeeding during these unprecedented times is a testament to our faculty, our staff, our advisors. You are working tirelessly in new ways to help our new and continuing students enroll, connect with campus resources, and learn. We may be working remotely, but there is no question that you've been fully present for our students at all times. Thank you for remaining student-centered. Now, let us take these challenges and turn them into opportunities to improve our practice, re-envision our work, and show the world that Cal State LA can thrive under less than ideal circumstances. Our students and our community deserve nothing but the very best. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the 7th president of Cal State LA, President William Covino. But before we hear from the president, we'll watch a video about our university.
What is a pandemic, and how do we know when we're in the midst of one?
Well, a pandemic is when you have an infectious disease.
Row after row, comatose patients in isolation rooms. Every surface is dangerous, and so is the
people
air.
are critical and will die without.
The organization warns that around the globe, the virus seems to be gaining a new foothold.
So now, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
It's still so new to us, so we're just doing what we can, and we don't know what's going to happen.
This time will end. This odd and painful chapter in the history of our nation will not last forever. And when it is over, we will look back at all we've been through. Our story of life during the pandemic will be more than a sad tally of loss and dreams denied. When we tell our story of COVID-19, we will remember the ways we tried to make things better for our students and our community, with laptops and hotspots and emergency grants for students who needed them. With food giveaways that helped feed thousands in the community. With our COVID-19 testing site right on campus. And compelling new research on the hard-hit communities of Southeast Los Angeles County that so many of our students call home. Our COVID-19 story will feature our students who remained resilient and determined in the face of unfathomable circumstances. We continued educating and readying Golden Eagles for a world that needs them like never before. We continued preparing for the day when we would be together again. Our COVID-19 story will tell of our deeply committed faculty who spent the summer training for the fall, and how they're ready to offer high-quality, engaging instruction in a virtual space. When we tell the story, we will remember our staff who turn to technology to assist students, telemedicine and teletherapy, virtual advising, online orientations, and cloud-based call centers for financial aid, records, and admissions. This long and tumultuous chapter will end, and we will have a story to tell. Our story will be more than a narrative of loss. We will tell of the lessons we learned, the experiences we gained, and we will show the world that we are Golden Eagles, and we still soar.
Good morning. Welcome, Provost Alvarado. Thank you very much. And many thanks to the folks who put together that striking video ushering us into the fall semester. As you heard from Provost Alvarado, 54 new faculty are joining us today. I hope that you're all out there receiving your congratulations and looking forward to the new year. Normally, I would acknowledge all 54 of you, as others have said, by asking you to stand, then our community would welcome you with a resounding round of applause, but this year is just me here. I was intrigued, as many were, to see that Major League Baseball is piping applause and cheers into ballparks. And we're a major league university, but we decided against that. So I'll simply say welcome. Just let you know that you hit a home run. I'm keeping the baseball metaphor going for a second. That you hit a home run with your decision to join the faculty of Cal State LA. It is among the finest faculty in the nation, in my experience and the experience of so many others. I know that you're going to contribute in exciting and transformative ways to the vibrancy of our scholarship and teaching, and I'm looking forward to meeting each of you in person. Let me also welcome all of you who are watching today, our students, faculty, staff, our alumni, our emeriti faculty, our many friends. A special welcome and congratulations to Talia Bettcher, our new chair of the Academic Senate. Welcome and deep thanks to our ASI President, Diana Chavez, and all of our student representatives. Your leadership will make a difference and help to assure the success of our 25,000 students as we navigate this very unusual year. We start the new academic year keenly aware that it is unlike any other in the history of Cal State LA. We see, hear, and feel the differences at every turn. The very fact that you're watching this address from your homes rather than from a seat in the Luckman Theater is one sign that this is a very different convocation. These are very different times. The last 5 months have not been easy. Not for our students, our faculty, our staff, or our nation. The pandemic contorted our world. The killing of George Floyd broke our hearts and shined a light on the undeniable and painful truth about police brutality and the injustices suffered by the Black community and communities of color. The outrage accelerated a movement across our nation and around the globe. Today, we gather, experiencing together a dramatic recalibration of our everyday circumstances, our everyday practices and challenges. We gather today attuned like never before to the inequities and abuses of power that have been brought before our eyes. Even so, I'm confident that we will rededicate ourselves to our ambitious mission in this new academic year, to transform lives and foster thriving communities across Greater Los Angeles, to cultivate and amplify our students' unique talents and intellect to support their overall success, their well-being, and the public good. We will emerge with new practices, new tools, new approaches for educating our students and for serving our community. And I'm hopeful that our nation will emerge from this chapter with a renewed sense of our responsibility to one another. For now, the pandemic is still with us, but we have an advantage that we did not have in March. 5 months of experience, 5 months from the day we ended all events on campus last semester. We know more about our capacity for meeting change than we knew before. Provost Alvarado noted that our faculty met the challenge of the pandemic by spending much of this summer preparing to teach in ways that will challenge, prepare, and engage our students in a virtual space. What we've accomplished is nothing less than stunning. To all of the faculty who are participated in the ALT Instruction Summer Institute, thank you. And to the deans, associate deans, department chairs, to Kat Harris and the staff of our nationally renowned Center for Effective Teaching and Learning, thank you. Across the university, our staff have also prepared for this new and unprecedented semester. In the spring, we passed out laptops and hotspots to students who needed them. We're doing some more of that today. In preparation for this academic year, Information Technology Service purchased thousands more laptops and hotspots, anticipating the need. The Division of Student Life has devised a way to distribute technology through a contact-free process. We know that students need this help. The pandemic has left families struggling, some without work, others on the brink of eviction. In the spring, we dispersed nearly $18 million in CARES Act funding to almost 20,000 students. There's still some funding in reserve that will help our neediest students this semester. Even before we received the CARES Act funding, we used university funds to assist students with emergency grants that totaled $286,000. Some of our students were not eligible for CARES Act funding, so we provided nearly $1 million to ensure that all of our students, regardless of their status, received the help they needed. And you might have seen, featured on CNN and elsewhere, our colossal food distribution event held with the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank this summer, which provided more than 3,000 families with 80 pounds of food each. We featured some of that on the video. We opened a COVID-19 testing site here on campus so that those in nearby communities or those who want to come to a familiar place to be tested can do so. Because of this demonstrated commitment to public service, Governor Gavin Newsom awarded Cal State LA an inaugural Civic Action Fellowship Grant. With this grant, we will deploy Cal State LA students to nonprofits that are working with community partners in Southeast Los Angeles County to address environmental, economic development, and health and education issues. Our students are serving in these communities at a time when their service is crucial. Groundbreaking research by the Pat Brown Institute, which was featured in the LA Times, found that communities in Southeast Los Angeles County are among the hardest hit by the coronavirus. These communities are also home to many of our students. Because we care, we are poised to help. Recently, we held another food distribution event with the Southeast Rio Vista YMCA in Maywood. And we worked with the YMCA to offer a virtual STEAM academy, you know, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, a STEAM academy for youth from 4 of the YMCA's most under-resourced and underserved communities: the Crenshaw Family YMCA, the Weingart YMCA Wellness and Aquatic Center in South Los Angeles, the Weingart East Los Angeles YMCA, and the Southeast Rio Vista YMCA. Through this collaboration, we provided engaging learning experiences to students who otherwise would not have had the opportunity. For our own students, we have utilized technology not only to provide instruction, but to enhance vital services. We're now using our new cloud-based call center for financial aid, records, and admissions. This allows our staff from wherever they are to respond to calls from students remotely. And through our remote 24/7 ITS help desk, technological support is available via email, phone, and an online ticketing system to students, faculty, and staff. If you compare March through June of last year, of 2019, with March through June of this year, there's been a 39% increase in the number of calls to the ITS help desk. And during that same period this year, the ITS help desk experienced an over 100% increase in the number of tickets it handled in comparison to last year. Our Student Health Center uses Zoom you've heard of Zoom, right? Uses Zoom to provide services securely and remotely. You won't be surprised to learn that our Zoom usage has shot up from February, when we had 7,000 Zoom meeting participants, to April and beyond. In April, we had 460,000 Zoom meeting participants. This summer, our Golden Eagle orientation for new students moved online. Orientation staff exhibited their characteristic and great creativity and caring to keep students engaged and informed. Following Golden Eagle orientation, new students participated in our summer launch program. This was created by New Student and Family Programs and the Center for Student Involvement. Summer launch is a new opportunity for students to meet and to begin building community. With all these initiatives and more in view, we owe many, many thanks to staff across the university for your part in making a difficult time better. The pandemic has delivered lessons that we will spend years absorbing. Some of those lessons are harsh, and some of them are tender, including our discovery of the great need that we have for contact with one another. Our students need our support, and they need each other. That's why the long list of co-curricular activities available online at calstatela.edu/calendar is so important. Our Center for Student Involvement and our cross-cultural centers have kept students together, talking, moving, creating, enjoying each other's company. This summer, there were workshops on craft making, dance contests, boxing classes, and our virtual Greek life groups holding leadership seminars. The Center for Student Involvement partnered with our Career Development Center to offer summer career development workshops, and students involved in clubs and organizations participated in a virtual officer development course. The cross-cultural centers celebrated Pride Month and created much-needed spaces for students to discuss pressing topics, including anti-Blackness. Working with counseling and psychological services, the cross-cultural centers hosted Let's Talk sessions to support students. ASI continued wonderful work on behalf of students. In its first fully virtual election, students selected their student government leadership, and the participation was wonderfully high. ASI stepped forward and provided $150,000 in emergency grants to students impacted by the pandemic. ASI was also a partner in our food distribution, providing snacks and water and other assistance to volunteers. At virtual town halls hosted by ASI, students raised questions and expressed their concerns, and ASI collaborated with university administrators and others for information and solutions. We look forward to continuing such collaboration throughout this year. Our fall semester will include a robust program of events and activities for students, starting with our virtual Welcome Week next week. Campus departments will showcase their services during open houses. Plans are underway for a virtual Wellness Week hosted by the Student Health Center that will provide COVID-19 information and health guidelines. This summer, we watched as initiatives from the highest office in the land placed the futures of our students in jeopardy. A Supreme Court ruling against the Trump administration's effort to end DACA allowed us to breathe a collective sigh of relief. We rejoiced for a bit, only to learn that efforts to end DACA have not stopped. We must remain vigilant. We must remain prepared. Our international students face the terrible threat of being forced to leave the country under new ICE guidance. I was so very proud to see the way our community pulled together to search for solutions. Cal State LA joined the state of California in a federal lawsuit, and I signed on to an amicus brief brought by Harvard and MIT. Cal State LA's work ultimately helped push ICE to settle the lawsuit and retract the guidance. Long before the killing of George Floyd and the movement it propelled, Black student enrollment was a subject of discussion here at Cal State LA. For that reason, we launched an effort in the fall of 2019 to aggressively address the declining enrollment of Black students. This was a collaborative approach. It involved many university offices, admissions, recruitment, orientation, and others. And this work is now producing the kinds of results that we hoped to see. Our admission of Black students was much, much higher than ever before. Our enrollment confirmation deposits, these are the confirmation deposits we get in May from students who are declaring their intention to come to Cal State LA. Our ECDs, as we call them, saw comparably sharp increase. And we now stand poised to welcome what may be the largest class of Black students that we've had in many years. This good news comes in spite of the pandemic and its impact. And we will continue to build on this progress by working together in a coordinated way to ensure student success. As Provost Alvarado stressed, we know that our work does not stop with admitting and enrolling students. Supporting their progress toward earning a degree is our highest priority. We do this by sustaining and enriching a welcoming campus climate, one in which our students feel a sense of belonging. We continue to develop support programs to accomplish this goal. The Remote Summer Bridge Program, a Black Student Fall Welcome, and the RISE Peer Mentoring Program. RISE, R-I-S-E, stands for Retention through Interpersonal Student Engagement. The program pairs continuing students with new students to help them successfully settle into life as a golden eagle. The Men of Color Success Network continues to encourage and support young men on their educational journeys at Cal State LA. This fall, you'll see more new programming, including a 4-part series that will explore the core elements of anti-Blackness and the ways to work together to combat it. Like so many of you, Debbie and I look forward to the day when you can return to face-to-face teaching, when we can say hello to all of you in person, and all of us can return to face-to-face learning and work. And when you all return, our campus will have a few additions. We'll have new dormitory-style residence halls for students. You've got a glimpse of that on the video too. We will have renovated physical sciences, what was the physical sciences building. We're not calling it physical sciences building anymore. It will be a renovated, beautiful building dedicated to student services. And this semester, is the inaugural semester of our new College of Ethnic Studies. Establishing a new and distinctive college is, of course, never without difficulties. Challenges are inevitable. But I am so proud that ours is the first College of Ethnic Studies created in 50 years. Our commitment is not only to open its doors, but to set it on a distinctive path for success. Some of you will recognize a change to what had been known as the Mind Matters initiative. Our initiative has evolved, as many do, and we have given it a new name, Well-Being You. That's a capital U, Well-Being You. Debbie and I have, since the moment we set foot on campus, made student health and well-being a top priority, and Well-Being You remains committed to the health and well-being of our university community. Over the years, we've been expanding our psychological counseling staff. We have been expanding and creating many different paths for access to well-being programs and services to ensure that we're responding to student needs. As our students reorient their lives to current changes and challenges, we expect the need for psychological counseling and basic needs assistance to grow, and we will be ready. This summer, we mourn the loss of a giant of the civil rights movement, Congressman John Lewis. This loss is so very, very great. We trusted Congressman Lewis to act from a place of moral clarity, to demonstrate courage in the face of injustice, to speak truth to power, and to get into what he called good trouble. Many of you will remember that Congressman Lewis came to Cal State LA in 2016 to inspire and encourage our community. You may not know that his wife was an alumna of Cal State LA. One of Congressman Lewis's great insights resonates with me every day. He said many times, "We all live in the same house." Speaking to a group of graduates during a 2016 commencement, he said this, quote, "I say to you, the wind may blow, the thunder may roll, and the lightning may flash, and the rain may beat down on our old house. But you have an obligation, you have a mission, you have a mandate to stay with the house and hold on to your principles, hold on to your beliefs. Call it an American house, call it a world house. We all live in the same house. Let's stay together and never give up, never give in. Keep the faith and walk with the spirit of this institution, and you'll be all right," unquote. Let's all make the most of this historic semester. Be safe, be well, and let's take care of everyone in our house. Welcome.